Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my review for Disney's Encanto. So I've actually been meaning to do this for a while. Obviously, Encanto came out late last year, and I did watch it in theaters. It was great. But for whatever reason, when I tried to do my review and I finished the video, I kept getting hit with the copyright strikes. So I waited a while. The movie came out on Disney Plus, and I then used some footage from the movie to kind of like talk about my thoughts, and I still kept getting copyrights. I don't know if it's because I was using footage from the movie specifically. So hopefully with this video, I'm just using trailer footage, and I never got copyrights for those. So we'll see. But hey, let me just finally talk about Encanto. So Encanto, I mean, it was a really cool movie, obviously bringing finally like a Spanish flair to Disney animation. This was set in Colombia, like it's a Colombian movie, so we're still missing that Puerto Rico movie, but we'll see. But I really enjoyed like the overall story and everything that happened. Obviously, it's very Disney-esque because they all have special abilities and they all kind of like have these powers to help out the community they live in. But the story overall was really good, just about family, which is a big thing for Spanish cultures, right? The fact that the whole movie really did take place in one house is still really cool to me. And as of me recording this, I've probably watched this movie like 10 times. The first few times was to see it with friends and family who wanted to go see it. The second time just was because I was trying to do the review originally, and I just watched it for fun. I watched it like on different languages. I saw it in English, in Spanish. I listened to all the music. We don't talk about Bruno and all this stuff. Like, it was a good movie, but when I first watched it, I don't think it was my favorite. My favorite was probably Luisa's song. Surface Pressure, right? But after a while, I did hear more of Bruno, and I did enjoy that song. But I think now, I think my favorite song is Waiting on a Miracle, which is Mirabelle's song, like the one where she sings to, she's pouring her heart out, right? But what can I say about the movie? I mean, it was a very interesting story and a very interesting power. Like the fact that in their time of need, the candle obtained this mystical ability to kind of help them protect themselves. It created a paradise, I guess you could say, where no outsiders can come in and they can live their lives without having to be hunted down. Because I guess this was around the time where those, where the conquistadors were coming in and driving people out of their homes. So it's crazy to see kind of like how it started. Although the whole thing about like the family being broken is really just a generational thing, it happens with every movie where at first you start off peaceful, but over time people get comfortable and some people get greedy. Where like in this case, Abuela wanted to keep things perfect and started setting expectations on people when they really didn't have to. They're just supposed to live their lives. There's no need to force them to be one way. A lot of the people. A lot of the family members in the movie really struggled with not being able to be themselves and to be a version of themselves that is expected of them. Luisa had to be strong all the time. Isabella had to be perfect. But the thing is, looking back, Mirabelle's family, or like her side, is really the only one that mattered. I felt, because most of the other family members didn't really have a big role to play in sense. I mean, Mirabelle's mother was the town healer, and I guess that's important, but it was more like, her cooking just helped. It wasn't like you need to be this like pillar for the family. Like obviously Luisa was always out helping people because of her strength. Isabella had to stay perfect so she can potentially marry into a new family and extend the gift, right? And but other characters like, I'm blanking on the names. On Dolores, like Dolores had the power to hear, and she wasn't really out there using it for the town. It was really just for Abuelita and to be a snitch, right? To gossip. She was like, hey, what are they saying? And he's like, oh, let me do some reconnaissance, and like, oh, he wants 5 babies, and it's like, damn. And like, what did even what was his name? the shapeshifter, it's been a while since I've seen the movie now, but you know, he didn't really do anything. He was just there again to help people, you know, put up signs, whatever. Like, how are these powers specifically going to help the town? Like, I feel like only a few of them will really help. Like, heck, even Isabella should have helped more, not necessarily by looking perfect, but by helping people cultivate and like, you know, making plants that have fruit and vegetables, stuff like that, you know. But the fact that in the end she kind of just, it was more about like, let me be myself. I want to be a rebel. I don't want to be perfect. I want to mess up sometimes. Like, okay, that's I guess that's a conflict you have to do. But again, I've been talking about everybody else in the family that I've been neglecting. I'm sorry, the actual like main character, which is one of the big things about this movie, that they neglect Mirabel because she just doesn't have any powers, and that's one of the things that really speaks to everybody. You know, like, you know, you're the one that's normal. You're the one that really just doesn't have anything to contribute, which is something that was really like really good to tackle. I mean, the fact that in the beginning when they were getting ready for Julio, right? Julio? Antonio, he's the one who was going to get the powers that day, and they had to get everything perfect. And even though Mirabel could have potentially helped in any way, they were like, no, step aside. You know, we don't need your help. Like, she can't like help you carry something to another room, whatever, like set up something, you know, set up the table, whatever. So it's crazy. Like when Abuelita said that you need to step aside like that hit me, and like that was the one moment where like, okay, now we know that Abuelita's gonna be the villain. Like, that's just like the fact that your own blood says that to you, like, just step aside, we don't need you. That's where everything started. But the fact that the whole story was really about finding out why the family was being divided, you know, why the casita was starting to be torn apart, it was really cool, which kind of, you know, helped Mirabel, you know, give her the push to explore the family, see why it is that, you know, Bruno was pushed aside, why everybody has to act a specific way. But overall, I still feel like the story, because it was so centered around the house, wasn't really like a big thing. It was really just, you know, it was really just a family issue where they had to sit down and talk to each other. I guess because the magic was broken, they were at risk of losing their paradise, you know, because in the end, with everything was breaking, it, you know, the whole land was literally crumbling, you know, the street was cracking, parting, you know, they, you know, I guess that would have been bad. Like if if they told me that if the magic goes away, their paradise gets destroyed, then I feel like there would have been a more like, oh, we had to fix this. But because it was a very in-house issue, it didn't feel like it was very high stakes, but I felt like it was very emotional for the whole family overall, because at least for Mirabel's side, a lot of people, you know, a lot of the, her and her sisters were able to express themselves. If they ever do a sequel to Encanto, I'm pretty sure they should focus on the other side of the family. You know, Dolores, the fact that she hears everything, we don't see the bad side to that. We see, you know, the funny side, but like she hears everything. She hears, you know, people gossip, you know, she hears probably everything. Like the fact that when they were celebrating and they were throwing fireworks, you can see her like physically cover her ears because it hurts. Like she probably knows everything, and like she probably hears everything, you know, like they have a big family, so she probably, she's the oldest one too of her family. Sheesh. You know, she's probably heard everything, secrets, gossips, you know, she can't enjoy just like a simple party, like either music is too loud, like she whispers all the time because probably she herself is too loud, you know what I mean? She's always whispering. I don't know, like what if someone, well, I don't know, like someone yells at her like, hey, come over here, like does that hurt? You know, does she really have to just, I don't know, wear some earmuffs or something? I'm really curious to see exactly what a potential sequel would be. Maybe even her shapeshifter, her brother, like what about him? Maybe he could have an identity crisis because he doesn't know really who he's supposed to be, right? And then I don't know what they can do for Antonio. Maybe some animals just won't listen to him, you know, like that cheetah, I don't know if he was looking at him, you know, to eat him, or if he's just really that friendly, you know. But overall, it was a great movie, you know, fun music, fun story. Not my favorite movie, even though I watched it a couple of times. I think I still prefer Raya, and I will do a review on that soon, or maybe sometime later this month, just because I want to get everything out of the way so I can focus on new stuff. But I really liked Encanto. It was very refreshing to see, like a new culture, like the family getting together to solve an issue. I don't know. I thought it was really fun, like, and the fact that I've watched it over 10 times, it's, it really is a testament, and the fact that even We Don't Talk About Bruno became one of the most, popular songs when it came out. I think it did finally pass Frozen. Because Let It Go was good and all, but I still feel like We Don't Talk About Bruno is not that great, but I guess, it is catchy and it's fun to sing. So I'm glad that we finally got another movie that kind of like broke that record, right? Who knows if the next one will do the same. Regardless, I don't know if the next movie is going to be a musical or if it'll be an actual like film. You know what I mean? Because I know they're all movies, but like, Raya was all action, while Encanto was a musical. You know what I mean? So I prefer the films. That's why Wreck-It Ralph is one of my favorites. Why I like Raya so much. But I love them all. I love Tangled, Frozen, Moana, everything. So I'm just excited for the next one. This one was great. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. I still feel like having the antagonist be like Abuelita is still a little heavy, because like she obviously wanted to protect the whole family, but the fact that in the end she kind of just lost sight of what she was really trying to accomplish, and she was even pushing away a family member who just wanted to be helpful. The whole movie, Mirabel wanted to help her family, and the fact that there was conflict between them is one of the things that it always happens in family, and then there comes a point where you argue, you kind of get mad at each other, and you have a little bit of time to like express your feelings. She ran away, and then Abuelita had to go and chase her, and they had that beautiful moment in the end where she finally realized where she went wrong, and they were able to come back together. And in the end, they even rebuilt the house after it crumbled. By themselves with the help of their family, the citizens, and only then they were able to regain their abilities, and the house was different. If you notice, no one had a specific like picture on the door. Everybody now was able to choose what they wanted to do, which was strange because everybody had like a specific ability that I guess made them who they were, but the thing is, the weird thing about this too is that when you look at it, like some of these like doors, like obviously everybody got them when they were kids, but it showed them when they were adults, all with the exception of Antonio. So does that mean like something weird's gonna happen with Antonio later, or was it just like an animation error because like that's the present time we live in? Or does the door maybe like grow with you, right? That'd be cool. Like it keep the picture keeps changing as you grow up. That'll be interesting because I don't think we saw like everybody else's door, did we? I don't remember, but that's something interesting. The fact that it all stems from like having to prove to Abuelita that they can be just as perfect as she wants them to be, but at the same time it's not who they want to be. But that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other movies I should react to or review if I'm going back to do some other Disney movies. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else that I upload. And until next time, bye.